Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check. Mic check, waifu, waifu. Ma, tell him. Is that you?
What's happening, Morris Cheslow?
This is episode 222 of Mic Check, waifu, waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. That threw me all the way up. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Make sure you guys support us over at Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu to get early access to the video version of this podcast, to get access to the after story, the conversational exclusive podcast, to get access to our quick review series that I put up one for last week for the anime After the Rain. Make sure you guys check that out. Also, other bonus content as well. You get access to becoming a Patreon producer, like the long list of Patreon producers we have that is listed at the bottom of the show notes and the bottom of the description of this video, and as well as a shout out at the beginning of every show if you support us at the producer tier. Shout out to Dre, the GOAT G, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk Podcast. Make sure you check out Dad Needs to Talk Podcast. Ked, the pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast and Show Go High. Explicitly, Monique Williams, Nachi, Simi Sensei, Frozen. Sorry, I got to scroll down. Shanti, Saphir, and T Money Fingers. Thank you so much for producing this and many episodes of the podcast. We couldn't do this without y'all. It truly means the world to us. Thank you so much for supporting us. It means everything to us. Truly, truly means everything to us. Mic Check Waifu Waifu is the anime podcast that discusses seasonal anime every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. CT. We are going to be talking a lot of new shows that dropped for the fall, as well as some shows that wrapped up from the summer, and a few other things like my One Piece update. I can't wait to talk about that. But before we get into that, I gotta ask my brother, Tell, how you feeling?
Man, way better than I felt yesterday. Yesterday I felt like crap. I ain't even gonna hold you, but I felt like crap just because I don't think I've actually been getting enough sleep. Even when I go to sleep early, my watch is like, you didn't get any sleep. So it's like, I've been trying to actually calculate, like I've been waking up at like 2 a.m. every day this week. Like not even just this week, like this week and a half. 2 a.m. I think 3 a.m. is the latest I woke up this week.
Is your mind racing?
Bro, I don't know what's going on.
Can't shut down that brain.
I can't. I've been waking up watching straight physics and fucking philosophy videos for hours until it's time to get up and start working out and stuff like that. So yeah, bro, it's been. I can't say it's been a bad week. I just wish that I was able to sleep on my schedule. Is what it kind of felt like.
Yeah.
But how about you, bro? What's happening with you?
A lot, man. So This has been a different week for me. I actually took a break from my Cyberpunk 2077 read dive. I took a nice break from that to I made an executive decision, okay? And this has to do with one of the shows that wrapped up this week. I made an executive decision to do this, and I'm glad I did because it's a much easier way. And I think I established or determined that this is the way I'm gonna do stuff from now on, okay? And I'm gonna just get right into it. No, you know what? Before we get right to it, Tell, what was your episode of the week this week? Or do you want to save it for when we do our discussion?
Yeah, let's save it for the discussion because I haven't. I think I know what it is, but yeah. Okay,
so we're gonna save it for our discussion. So before we get into the episode of the week, but the executive decision I decided to make is that I am going to start for certain shows. I'm going to start reading them. And for certain shows, I'm also going to start watching them. Okay. So one of the shows I finished up this week, I'm jumping right into it, was Rent a Girlfriend.
Man, I saw that.
Yeah, it ended. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I had enough of this. Because I'm going to be honest with you, the ending was ass. Okay. I determined that the show itself is absolute garbage. It's bad. It's overall bad. While I did have some good moments this particular arc, the show is bad. And let me tell you why. The show is bad is because of the main character, as we always discuss. But hear me out. This is the thing when I'm referring to. The main character is so bad that it detracts from the show so much. And I decided that I'm gonna just pick it up and read it. I picked it up. It was from 160, I believe, chapter 160, which is the end of season 3, all the way to 300, which is caught up. I read all of that. So they're only about 20-page chapters, so it wasn't really, that bad. But it did take me the rest of the week, on top of watching everything new that launched, to catch up to it and read it. But when I tell you it's such a better read, and it's still a terrible read, it's an even better read, but it's still a bad read. And this is why it's a better read. It's a better read because you can skip through all the fucking bullshit that he does. The same shit he does in the show with the, she just looks spectacular, and describing every piece of feeling that he feels, and this over exaggerated, uncool, unsmooth type of behavior. You can kind of look at it and just move on with your eyes, right? You can just look and then look, okay, whatever, enough of that. She's just so perfect. The way her eyes glisten, all that bullshit he does, and you can just read past it essentially. So being able to do that and catching up to where I am, I will say it's better that way. I'm never going to probably watch it again. I don't think I will ever need to because of what I read. I'm done watching it, period. I would never do it. I'll just read it every week if I have to or whatever. I found a perfect website. It's not, it's a site that shall not be named. But what I'm gonna do is, if you follow us on Twitter, if you on our Discord, make sure you guys join our Discord. It's all in our link tree on our website and everything like that. The Discord is also on our website. Join the Discord and you'll have a link to it too. This fucking manga app is great. I was at my computer just fucking lounging and feet kicked up and just, because I'm reading in vertical instead of horizontal. So I'm reading in vertical. I'm just using the mouse wheel to scroll down, and I'm breezing through shit. So, but yeah, it's definitely a better read. I love what happened when I can get to the main points of happenings. Dog, read it. I'm gonna just tell you that. Read it. You're gonna enjoy it much more this way. I promise you.
So I saw you started reading it, and I was like, damn, next week I gotta pick it up and read it, because there's no way I'm gonna be left behind on Rent a Girlfriend. Ain't no way. Because hear me out, I agree wholeheartedly. That ending was atrocious, and it was atrocious because literally, bro, come on, how dense, dumb, and dull can you be?
Talk to him, right?
How dense, dull, and dumb can you be to not move things forward after this, after seeing what you saw, after doing what you did? So yeah, bro, I entirely feel you, because I don't even know what to say, because I'm just like, if Polow has read it and caught up to a certain point and things ain't changed, I'm gonna be like,
I'm gonna just say that with the way it's moving and the way the arcs are being covered, it's about to be 5-6 seasons of this shit, dog. And I can't do that. And I can't fucking do that because it's so fucking slow in the anime, man. And it's mostly because it's 85% of us fumbling through him fumbling. It's minutes and minutes and minutes of him just, she just look, the blah 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 blah, and it's going through it. Like I said, when you're reading, you can just be like, okay, I know what you're doing here. Let me just fucking move on. It's so tedious. So many times I rolled my eyes like, okay, enough of this shit, and I just scroll it. I'm tired of it. But it's some good stuff in it though. It's some good stuff in it. I'll say that.
And just to touch on, I hate how they hinted Mami-chan the entire season, and then all of a sudden she only here for the ending
and didn't do shit with it. Right.
That was trash, and that's why I wholeheartedly agree with you, because there was so many episodes that was like, damn, that was damn near a perfect episode. That was damn near a perfect episode. But then you get like, you put the entirety of the series together and you're just like, nah, this whole thing is trash.
Absolutely.
If I could throw out so much of it, it would mean that the whole show is garbage.
Like, it had powerful moments that, and I will say this, and I would say this from the bottom of my heart to the top of my soul, you were absolutely warranted for giving the episodes of the week you gave. Like, episodes of the week, they were good episodes. Like, they were great episodes. But as a whole, when you put the show together as a whole, it falls fucking flat, man. And I get it. I get the hate. The manga gets just as much hate. I notice. I now see. I get it. I fucking 100% get it. So I'm glad I picked it up and I'm reading it now. I'm week to week on it and fully caught up. But that's what I'm gonna do. Like, JJK, I'm not gonna read no more. I've read maybe 200 chapters, maybe close to 200, close to 200 chapters, I think. And I'm not reading it anymore. I want to see it. That's what I need to see, because it's just wonderful. And then getting surprised by shit that happens. Like, if I guess slight spoilers if you're not watching JJK, which most people are. So I'm like the Shibuya incident. I would just say that when the Shibuya incident happened, if I was watching that instead of knowing what was coming up, I would have been fucking flabbergasted. Like, we would have been singing this high praises right now. Like, oh shit, they did this, they did that. You know what I'm saying? And we can't really give the way we want to give with situations like that because of, you know, we read it. So it's like, it's kind of like, yeah, it happened. And then we move on.
I'm going to say this about this specific Shibuya incident. I think that part of the reason we can't give like the Shibuya incident its high praises right now is more geared towards the fact that you and I, if we read it, we're not necessarily going to talk about every little incident that happened, right?
Right.
Social media blew up the Shibuya incident. All our friends, we ain't going to hold it back. All our friends and other people we don't know, they blew up what happened in Shibuya incident before we even started reading it.
Right.
Then we read it and it's like, oh, okay, so that's what happened. And now we don't have that hype behind us. But I think for us, had we read it, we still would have got to that point in the anime and be like, yeah, this is what we've been waiting for.
I'm with you. I'm with that.
Because I feel like even when we watched like the kind of little bit of a recap of, you know, Gojo getting body bagged the first time, that we were still kind of hyped for that, because the way it played out was just so much more extravagant. And even how we talked about the emotion for when it actually went down,
the music,
like, it was so much impact.
Yeah,
I feel like we still would have been a lot more hyped for it. But I think when we let all of the hype and anticipation from our friends draw us into reading the manga. Yeah. And then we read it and we're like, oh, okay, so that's what happens. And then
no, that's a valid point.
We let it kill our vibe a little bit.
That's true. And that's true. And it's like, I'm not going to pretend like I'm not, like, there's no way, like, everybody knows that. And you guys are going to figure this out this episode, that I've never been a contrarian, but I also never been one to agree with the masses. And not saying that I'm disagreeing because I want to be disagreeable. I'm disagreeing because it's like my personal opinion. And that's why I do think we still have, you know, as many listens as we do, and people still rock with us, because we're going to say our opinion regardless of what is the popular notion. Because I'm going to tell you, this episode is going to ruffle some feathers. And I don't know if it's ruffle feathers. I'm being facetious here, but some people are going to be upset with the takes that I have on certain stuff. So I'm going to just start. Maybe this is an antagonist episode. I don't know. Probably not, because I'm not really angry per se. You know, I'm just like shocked at what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is honestly
mediocrity.
Yes. And it's not even anything new, to be honest. Everything new that I've watched, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. But before we fuck it, we're gonna do this episode however we want to do this episode. I'm gonna just swing it. I'm gonna start off with Castlevania. Castlevania was all over the timeline this week because it was a new season of Castlevania. It's called Castlevania Nocturne, right? But no, it's a sequel to Castlevania further down the family tree of the Belmont family, and I watched 2 episodes of it. Beautiful. It's a very beautiful show, animated gorgeously. It's so fucking hard to watch though. It's like so hard to watch. I'm sitting there like trying my hardest to push through these 2 episodes, and the voice acting is so bad that it's unbelievably bad. Like, it's nothing. Like, I don't know if it's the script or it feels like it's both. Just both the script and the acting is just so dry and dull, and like it feels like everybody is in their closet. It don't sound good when it comes to their voices. But when I tell you the show is fucking beautiful when it comes to the animation, like when they're fighting, that's when the show is in its bag. But it's only fighting for like 10 minutes of a 40-minute episode. Other than that, it's rough to watch. However, the one that everybody's simping over right now, Doltra, which is funny because that particular character in the Castlevania games is an old hag witch lady, but in this one she's such a bad, like she's bad as hell, like she's waifu material, like through it, like she's incredible. However, her voice is fucking spectacular. The way she delivers lines is so good, but everyone else, probably except for the other villains, sound god awful. Like it's just they scraped the bottom of the like they went to Fiverr. Like, and no offense to people that's working on them. They recording on their mama flip phone. Bro, it's no offense to anybody that's working Fiverr doing voices. Shout out to Navi, that's where she came from. But something about this is like, it's grating. And I'm not even like a snob when it comes to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a dub only guy back in the day. So you can't even say I'm like a sub, a sub elitist. Yeah, sub elitist or sub apologist or some shit like that. I'm truly saying that this voice acting is so bad, it makes the show so bad. I got 2 episodes in, and where the story is going feels okay. It doesn't feel anything like spectacularly riveting yet, but it's only 2 episodes, so I can't really give it that much of a shine or whatever. But it's so fucking hard to watch, man. I'm like, listening to these people talk is just, it's like I'm gonna tell you, it's like reading something. They're reading paragraphs with no commas, no punctuation. It's like this paragraph that's in front of me right now. The young adventurer Belgrave retires to quietly, and that's how everybody sounds. Everybody sounds like they're just reading a paragraph, and it's so frustrating because the show looks so good. I'm so disappointed. But you look on the internet, you look on Twitter, you would think this was one of the greatest shows that's ever came out, bro. It's so crazy to me. I'm sitting there watching like, what the are we even watching the same shit, bro? Like, are we watching the same thing? There's no way we're watching the same thing. Like, no way. There's no way. There's no way.
So I only watched the first season to its totality of Castlevania, which I actually thought the first season was really good. Second season, that's actually, I started watching the first season around when the second season released. Second season, I did not really vibe with. I think I got like 2 episodes in, and I was like, yeah, okay, this don't really feel like the same. Almost like something felt different. So I did not complete the second season. The current one is the 3rd season, right?
No, there's 4 seasons. There's 4 seasons of the OG Castlevania, but you don't need to watch that to watch Nocturne. Like, the one thing
further down the line, like you said, right?
Exactly. It's just further down the family tree timeline. So it's like 300 some years later through the Belmont tree, which is dope to see because I obviously played the Castlevania games. I love the Castlevania games. My mama used to have it on SNES. Like I like the Castlevania games. You know what I'm saying? So I'm familiar, very familiar with this world and this lore, and it's dope to see Richter with his. Even though Richter in this one got short hair, probably because he's in like his young, early adult stages. Yeah. But Richter normally has that long hair with he's fucking big and bulky with his blue shit on and he fucking swinging that whip. It's normally dope in the games, but I digress. It's good to see, them continue, like even seeing enemies from the game in the first episode is fire. It's good. It's dope to see. It's very nostalgic. It's just when you fucking see them or hear them talk, man, I swear to goodness, dude, it is so bad. And I need you to listen to tell me if I'm wrong.
We got the basement studio mics,
bro. It's not even the quality of the mic. It's just the voice actor themselves, man. It's everybody sounds terrible except for the main Dolcher lady. She sounds fucking amazing. She's like, she looks and sounds like she's bad. Like, she's wonderful. But fuck, man. And then most of the time it's not spent with her. I can guarantee you that. And at least in these first two. And then most of the time it's spent with everybody else, and they're fucking awful, man. They're so bad.
Maybe we can chalk it up to it's intentional. They wanted her to be so much more dominant over everybody.
Possibly. I hope so. Something. Maybe it gets better in episode 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But
gotta give them an excuse for it.
I was sitting there, dude. I'm like, is something wrong with me? Like, I was thinking like I was the problem. I would rewind some shit. I'm like, what did he just say? It's not good. It's not good. And it's hard to even care about his story. All right. That's one thing that's probably going to ruffle some feathers. Castlevania Nocturne, at least 2 episodes in for me so far. Voice acting is so trash that I don't even know if I want to watch it, but I will, just to see if it get better.
Well, let's keep ruffling these feathers, right? Ruffle these feathers. What's next on the ruffle feathers list?
I won't say it's necessarily ruffling feathers, but the new show, Shangri-La, another show that everybody talking about. I know I said during our preview that I wasn't going to look at it, but I'm like, if Dad Needs to Talk podcast said you'll probably like it because it's a whole video game thing too. And Rob J also hit me up in Discord literally right after I rolled the credits on that episode, which is funny. I watched it. I did. Fucking beautiful. Another gorgeous show. It's like one of the prettiest shows I've seen since fucking Sword Art. It looks so good. However, I fucking hate this main character so much.
Yeah,
I hate him so much. Something about it makes me want to punch him in his fucking face.
I can tell you exactly what I think about him because I have a love-hate relationship with this main character too. Because it's like I love the fact that he likes to trash games, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
That felt cool. It almost gave me that. What was that one we watched where dude went hard in that really, really bad game, and it was like all fun and games and stuff. It was the jokey joke one. But either way, regardless, it's almost like the mentality of the characters that he's played so many trash games at this point. That a good game just makes it too easy for him. You know what I mean? Because like he played Oblivion and Elder Scrolls in like the hardest difficulty with all the bugs and played through the bugs and won. And it's like I get it. I guess that can make things work for you, but it's almost like, why does that give you this unfounded, ridiculous amount of confidence?
Yeah, he's just pompous.
Just feel like you can succeed at things.
That's exactly right.
Which like it's like I like it, like I said, but I don't. It's like something about it is just a little bit grating, but it's like, nah, man, this show is actually still kind of like good. Like I want to see where it goes next. I hope that the direction is solid because especially the way it looks, even with the way, because the sound design isn't bad either, but it's just like I want to see it explode more almost in a sense, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Like I don't mind this show at all. This is definitely on the week to week for sure. One that you can enjoy, but as everything about this main character is like the perfect word is grating. It's like I just turn my lip and be like, okay, fucking, you know what I think? This is what I think. And this is going to tie into something else that I fucking love this week. All right. So after I watched Shangri-La, I turned on Berserk of Gluttony. Berserk of Gluttony, fucking fantastic. However, it looks like trash. Like
entirely. It
looks so flat and still when it comes to animation and just like design itself. But if you could trade main characters, if you could put the Berserker Fate, which is the main character in the Berserk of Gluttony, into Shangri-La and Shangri-La into Berserk of Gluttony, I think both shows will be better for it. Like have this confident guy who's getting his ass whooped by these nobles and shit, but he's confident, so he's gonna become something instead of this main character in Shangri-La who doesn't seem to have much to him. And that's pretty much where I see the Shangri-La main character going. Like I just think he doesn't have shit going for him. It's just gonna be him kicking ass, which dope. I'm all for it, right? Like I love that shit. But it's not gonna give me anything as far as like character growth or something I can latch on to when it comes to that particular character.
Right.
This is that meathead shit that you turn your brain off to and watch and enjoy the flashiness of it. While Berserker Gluttony has what seemed to be more of a presence of a main character who's becoming something. And maybe that's what I like just in general, is just a character who has the potential for growth. Yeah.
Now, I actually did really enjoy Berserker Gluttony as well. But when you talk about that meathead, I got my meathead bag this week with a specific anime, Ragna Crimson. It felt very like they try to satiate my meathead. They was like, we want Montel to be full. He eating this week with the amount of meathead we giving him. And I think it did a lot of really good things with the action. I think the concept is cool, but it did surprise me with kind of like a little bit of its delivery. But hear me out. Entirely predictable. Entirely predictable.
I'm about to say surprised you where, because I was about to say the same thing.
It surprised me with the delivery of the fact of like the concept of the past and future thing.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like the only surprise. Other than that, I was like, okay, I expected this. As soon as you started talking, this is what I saw the timeline being.
I think personally, Ragna Crimson did not need 50-minute episode. Berserk should have got that 50-minute episode, and this should have been that 25-minute, just a regular fucking episode. Because everything that they put in this 40-minute episode literally could have been 24 minutes long, and it had the exact same effect. Yeah. As far as the emotional punch or lack thereof, even, and the lack of surprise. Like, I like the show. I do like it. I like where it's going. I don't think it needed 45 minutes to tell me that it was going where it was going, because it was so fucking predictable. Like, obviously
they could have cut the intro, outro, squeezed it a little bit more, cut some of the fluff, and be like, boom, this is exactly what you're getting.
Yeah, it's baffling that they chose 50 minutes for something that was so, because all they kept doing was repeating the same shit over and over, right? Like,
you keep going up in time every time you say how long the episode was.
Come on, man, you had to point it out. That was the joke.
He said 45, 47, 50, an hour and 10 minutes.
That's exactly what it was, man. The show just kept feeling like it was so long because it was repeating the same shit over and over. Like, we know that you want us to see that she's gonna die and he's gonna gain power. Like, that's what your intention is. We get it, but the way they did it was a nice little spin, right? Like,
but it still made it obvious that things weren't going to play out exactly how like it was told or foretold in a sense, right? Like the foreshadowing, they didn't make it seem urgent enough or in was it imperative or like detrimental.
No, you know what? I think you're wrong. I think they did the opposite. I think they tried to make it more imperative, but because if they didn't show it at all, right? Like, if they didn't show none of that and it just happened, and then we maybe went back in time, it would have been cooler to see. But instead they kept showing us those flashes of it happening. And with those flashes of it happening, I think that's what kind of took away the impact, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, I can say that, but I think there's a way to deliver it still and make it seem like it's imminent. Like, this is going to happen regardless. And I think they even should have still gave us some of that, like her getting like hurt extremely bad, even just like, I don't know, instead of her dying, spoiler, instead of her,
they know we're gonna spoil
dying, remove like a leg or something, or she lost the scar got expanded to her eye, or they could have even gave us the scar as what actually happened right there, so she avoided death by it, but she got that scar instead, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, they could have gave us something that built around how important it was that she did not die right there, but made it seem like as if there was still a very close chance of it happening. It didn't feel like close at all. It felt like it happened and he was like, okay, I'm this guy.
Yeah, I just don't think they should have showed us the glimpses at all. Yeah, maybe if
too much foreshadowing.
Yeah, maybe if they start off with the episode and it's completely normal, right? And then she's just fucking getting nuked. And then because he's going through that depression, they kind of speed through exactly what they showed us. They kind of speed through everything, but like in a way that's like everything's coming inside of him, like he's like he the time is getting reversed or something like that. That would have been cooler. It would have been ways to spin it cooler, I think, personally, but I'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
This is going to be a 22 episode show, 24. So It's definitely about to have that meathead shit in it. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you what though. MF Ghost.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Now I know we ain't get much this episode. I know we ain't get much at all. But it seems like and this is about to be a good check. And obviously we're spoiling every episode 1 of new season stuff. So this just gives you a heads up on where we at. MF Ghost to me, I think is giving me modern day Initial D. But what's going to be, as it should, yeah, exactly. What it's giving me though is and this is just call it a gut check, I guess, which is, what we do when we take a look at the future and what we think is going to happen possibly. I think with MF Ghost, this guy is literally bringing what these people in Japan has never seen in this particular timeline. And that's the fucking drifting. Because watching all these people run these trials, they're just kind of running. Like if you notice, every time they showed a car doing this time trial, they were just running the track. Nobody put any effort into the drifting, into the old school art form of the racing that was Initial D. And I think he's going to bring that from fucking England for some reason here. And I think that's super dope, man. I think that's going to be dope. I don't like just like Initial D, the characters are dry as hell. Like
God.
That's no different than Initial D, but that's not what these shows is about. Okay,
dried in the Popeye's biscuit,
bro. I'm telling you, they dry as hell.
No butter, no water.
But I'm just loving the fact that where this is going, like the shocking all of it all, right? Like him coming through and completely doing a different style is what I'm looking forward to the most. What's different than Initial D though is that they're giving this guy more character, right? Like I'm here from England. My mom is Japanese. I'm here to fucking blah blah blah. But like I still don't care. Just give me the races.
I do want that, but yeah, because they ended on that cliffhanger too. Like he just started the race, and I needed more. I wanted to see my boy hit the corner real quick, especially because they got him in a Toyota Supra. So it's like I want to see him take off. I want to see what he about to do. I want to see how he gonna push that. Especially considering the vehicles that they driving this time, obviously much more modern, but also they about to be in basically supercars. So that's what's cool about it. They're supercars, but the supercars are prehistoric in this particular time, which is an interesting spin. Yeah. So I do like that a lot. Because I mean, there's a lot of that means that there's a lot of more or less like you can think of it as like you said, history to how they're driving these vehicles. We know Lamborghinis don't really drift, but the first car they showed was the Nissan GTR, and I remember initially we know those don't really drift because they got the all-wheel drive. But if you can get it right, you got it. You know what I mean? That's a monster to drift there. So I mean, I'm excited to see. I don't know how the Super gonna keep up with the GTR, but we'll see.
It's not about the Super keeping up with the GTR. It's about who's driving a GTR.
I know,
and that's what I think is going to be different about this opposed to Initial D. No, they're both was about the driver, really. To be fair, but like I think it's going to be all about the driver in this, which is interesting.
Now, did you happen to watch Overtake?
Hell no.
All right, so
hear me out. Formula.
Hear me out. You said you don't like Formula vehicles?
Nah.
I feel you. Overtake looks good though, bro.
Looks good.
Looks so good. Voice acting is solid too. I think the sound design is really good too. The only thing I can't get around though is like not the main character. He's not the main character. The main and that's what I think is going to would draw you in is the actual main character. He's a photographer.
Interesting.
And he I think, and they don't really explain it all to us yet, but basically he has essentially in a sense forgot how to do his very best at something. But basically watching this race and watching the main racer guy lose this race, but off of technicality, because they talked about how some people, they just have a bunch of money, so they do Formula One, and some people don't have a bunch of money and they just go off what they can. They'll get an investor. This dude is driving a Formula One vehicle with 80-year-old or tires from the 80s, but it's just because that's all he could afford. Now he's really, really good, but him doing his best still leads him to lose, right? And he gets this snapshot, this final photo of him like crying that he lost, but he was going to do his best. He got the edge, almost came in first place in his last corner. And it inspires the photographer to actually take a picture of a person. He was cool with taking pictures of vehicles, inanimate objects, that stuff, but he couldn't take pictures of people. This is the first picture he took of a person. And I was like, you know what? This might actually be really good. And I feel like it explained racing. I feel like I was watching the racing version of Haikyuu. Yeah, because how they explained racing, I was like, I get it. I can digest this now because they didn't just throw me into the race. They told me what the first lap is. They told me what happens in case of emergency. They told me what the cockpit members do, and then they kept it moving, but like didn't do it in a way to where it was like interrupting. It was like as things are progressing in the show. So it went from our photographer character into meeting the racers, into a race, into finding out these things, and into boom, this is the scenario that we facing. And I was like, that's actually kind of dope how they paced it. So I recommend at least check out the first episode, bro. I'm gonna say that to you. I can understand if you don't like it because it's Formula Vehicles, because I don't like them either. But I would say at least check out the first episode, see how you like it, because I feel like that'll hit you specifically.
Will do. Added. All right. Interesting stuff. A pretty good show that I'm hoping turns out to be more than what we got so far. But My Daughter Left the Nest and Returned as an S-Rank Adventurer. It was adorable, man. It was absolutely adorable, but I'm hoping there's more to it. Like, I'm praying to goodness that this is not a show where she spends the entire season trying to get back to her father and just a bunch of shit keep happening.
Yes.
I'm praying that was just a one episode thing because it was getting on my fucking nerves. But other than that, these two characters, the Red Ogre himself, he's dope. And the daughter, she's incredible. Like, I love the characters already. Her party members are just, they feel like side characters. So
they're fillers, yeah.
Definitely fillers. Like, I don't really give two shits of a fuck about them.
Cannon fodder.
Yeah, but the main character, Angie, is incredible, and the dad is incredible. Like, I just want them to meet up, and I want something to go down like a fucking crazy adventure that her and her dad has going together or something. Like, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see her fucking failing to get to him though for the entire season. I got a feeling it won't be that. It probably won't be that. But
a slight gut check would be that I feel like he's gonna leave the town and rejoin the adventuring world to go find her. And that's what I feel like. That's why it's going to be the same thing over and over.
They're going to keep missing each other.
Right. They're going to keep missing each other. And I'm going to be irritated. Oh my God. Because I agree with you entirely. Those two characters make up a great dynamic for this show. And I feel like if they make them keep missing each other and don't let that dynamic build, it's going to just cause a flop for a show that could have been otherwise good. You know what I mean?
Spectacular. Right.
This show doesn't need to be amazing. It doesn't need to be over the top. It just needs those two characters to give us that interaction. Yes. We don't know what's going to happen. This is obviously just kind of like a gut check, but I can only hope that they give us what we desire.
I know. Same, bro. Same. There's just so much. And this is obviously, so much stuff that is still yet to come out that we both of our sleepers, like, what was your sleeper again? Was it Rain, the bubble Protocol Rain?
Protocol Rain, yeah.
So yours come out in 5 days sleeper wise, and mine's come out in 4. I'm looking forward to those, but one of the shows that just did not disappoint, and this is going to be I think personally, I said it on our Twitter, roll it out, a show that is going to literally take the fuck off in a way that Jobless Reincarnation did, in a way that's
exactly what I felt.
Yeah, so many other shows did, and that's Francesca said it's Freiren with a T because it's German. Shout out to Francesca, somebody that was in our chat on our Mic Check Live too. Thank y'all so much for coming out to that. By the way, that was a lot of fun. We got twice the amount of viewers that we got last time, according to YouTube Studio, which is dope to see that. You know, that it's actually bringing new people to our channel. So we appreciate that. But Freiren it's so not going to be for everybody though. And the reason being is because it's not action packed. Oh my God. You're not going to see a lot of fights or just anything like that. All I know is Studio Madhouse did their fucking thing with this show. It's beautiful.
It's so good.
Story wise, this is a story that you never think you would want until you got it. It's spectacular.
Mm-hmm. As soon as they started talking, I feel like I wanted more. And I was so happy that they dropped 4 episodes, bro. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Now these were warranted. Unlike Ragna Crimson or whatever that was. These were warranted. And I feel like what's so funny to me, I swear to goodness, man. Each episode felt like an hour long. But I was so captivated. Like, I'm so invested in everybody. Like, I love them so much. Like, I've been seeing this shit for 3 years.
So this felt like exactly what you said, like Jobless Reincarnation, right? Mm-hmm. Because, and hear me out, it was, yes, immersive, but it's also like, it kind of felt like a palate cleanser. In a sense of like, I got to cleanse my palate of everything else I watched, but there was so much to digest in this show. Mm-hmm. Like, and I think that's why it felt like a palate cleanser, because it just pushed everything else aside, bro. Like, I'm watching this and I literally couldn't think of a different anime at that moment.
Okay, yeah.
And it's kind of weird.
I'm with that.
But I feel like I'm already gonna love this anime from beginning to end. And I hate to say, like, give it so many high praises already. But these first 4 episodes, I felt like it gave us everything we need to know about our main character in terms of like what their forward or what their perspective going forward will be. It gave us context on everything around her, like the people around her. The only thing we really need to build is more about the world, and that's what the intention seems to be set towards. So it's like, yo, they already set the guidelines for us to say, these are your characters, and this is what we're going for. And I'm just like, I don't even know how this show going forward could really drop the ball if the world is already well written. You know what I mean?
Conceptually, it seemed like it started off with the world, and we talk about that a lot. Shows that conceptually starts off with the world always turn out to be so much more enjoyable to digest and watch as a viewer, because when you start with the world, you get stuff that the character the character isn't carrying the world, the world's carrying the character. That sounds philosophical and blah blah blah, but what I'm literally saying is that, like, it's how can I explain it, man? It's just so, I don't want to call it refreshing, because it's not. It's very sad. It gives you a vibe of like, it makes you look at your own mortality. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a situation to where you're an elf and you live for fucking, I didn't want to say that, because I think that's a huge, like, surprise and later on in a show, but you live for a very long time and you realize that, and all right, let me back up. I'm sorry, I'm discombobulated.
Right. Even in D&D they live forever, but
you don't think about it at all until you realize what they reveal in episode 4. Mm-hmm. What they reveal in episode 4 is close to her actual age. We still don't know her actual age, but they reveal how long she's been around. When you put that in perspective, you start to understand in the previous 3 episodes why she was so bent on, like, it's only 10 years. It's only been a decade. It's only 50 years. It's only 80 years. Like, that concept is fucking mind-blowing. Something you never thought of even once when it comes to any other fantasy anime you've ever watched. You don't think about it.
And you think about how trivial it seems to everybody else of what she's doing, right? She's going around collecting spells, simple spells, remove rust from statues, create flowers, and other random spells, clear dust from the ground. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She's getting these random spells that to so many people would be like, why do you need this for who you are? You literally are who you are. Why would you need this spell? And she's like, it's just a hobby of mine, because she's a millennia old. You know what I mean? She literally can do. She has no concept of human time, because we are
really,
yeah. Whereas, like, that adventure she had with them, where it took them 10 years to get to the Demon Lord's castle, that was 1/10 of all of her friends' lives. And even the dwarf, who can live longer than a normal human, that's still a large portion of their life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, that concept that, yes, we have to explore this concept of time with someone who has no perception of it. And why would it even mean anything to her to get to know anybody who's only going to live for 100 years? Why would that mean anything to her? You know what I mean?
If that even, you know?
Right.
As humans, 80, 90, if you're lucky, 100, I guess. It's so good. And like the time, for some reason, again, each episode feel like it goes by so long. Like I spent an hour watching this show.
That's that immersion.
But I'm so yes, I'm immersed. I feel like I know so much about the world and the characters and the situationships and I get it. Like I absolutely love her apprentice. She's a fucking adorable. Like everything about this, I was captivated. My mouth was at a gape watching the show. Because first off, Studio Madhouse is fucking insane. Studio Madhouse might have brought their way up in my mind and like almost top tier because they've done some beautiful shit. Obviously, Studio Madhouse are the ones who are in charge of one of my favorite series of all times, which is Overlord. But like, they fucking showed up and showed out for this particular show. But the way they showed out though was so like it wasn't overdone in any way, bro. It literally just looks like, and I hate to keep mentioning this, but it feels like they looked at Jobs' Reincarnation and said, okay, what did they do subtly to make this show so beautiful? And they said, all right, let's translate that to our style. And they made it look more almost like that Grimgar-esque feel where it's like it feels painted, but you're in the anime. And I love how this looks, man. It's crazy. They definitely took off. And then the what is it called? Ashtrack spell or whatever the dude spell is. Yeah. I was like, yo, the way it even looks. Ugh. It makes me so happy to see that Anilist already gave it an 87 for the first 4. Absolutely warranted. Like I would even go as higher than that. Like it was perfect to me in my opinion. Like absolutely perfect. And it's mostly because like again, you don't need even the action. The little bit of action we did get was fucking sick. By the way, it was amazing. But like they don't need it because of where this is going so far. And like to find out that. To find out what she met her old. I'm not gonna say anymore.
But even the action to like, let's not even necessarily talk about specifically the action. It was the part leading up to the action where she was teaching her the defense spells. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, yes. And then she was telling her.
And then when they meet the demon, and it's like, yo, this is crazy. Yo, the whole context of this is brought out because she talks about, and like I said, the significance of time. He's been frozen for 80 years. And 80 years is not a long time for humans. Well, it's an extremely long time for humans. They have to hurry up and adapt way fast. So and they did exactly.
Yeah. It's not even only that though. It's the fact that
it's so good.
It's the fact that she realized how adaptable they can be, which was later brought up with the dwarf. Like, hey, you changed. And you can we as viewers can see how she gradually is becoming more and more like involved with learning and caring more about the concept of the short time that humans have and what they can accomplish. It's so many different lessons that can be brought from this fucking show. It's spectacular. It's a 10 out of 10 show so far already. Like, unbelievable.
This definitely got to go in the weekly spoiler talk, bro. Or something.
100%.
It's already there.
100%. Like again, this one has 4 episodes, so I don't want to go too deep into it. But I mean, it's y'all have to watch it. This is one that I cannot recommend enough.
This would have been my episode of the week.
100%.
I don't know which one, but one of the 4.
You could pick one of any 4, and that'll be. Miles was 1 hit, Tails was 4. Whatever you want to call it, that's what will be our episodes of the week this week. It was truly that special. I can't believe it was as good as it was, to be honest.
Yeah, it was insane, actually.
Anything else we got? I guess
the last thing I watched was Firefighter Daigo Rescuer in Orange. Hear me out. I did not think I'd be watching an anime about firefighters.
Unless it's Fire Force.
Unless it's Fire Force, yes. And I was going in, I was like, I was kind of hoping in my heart, I hope it's as good as Fire Force. It's not bad. It feels like slice of life firefighting, but they put the action in, so it almost feels like you're watching a sports anime. So that can be a little
Yeah.
I need so here's what I need from this. Because I'm not gonna say it's bad, but they have not done a good job with the characters so far. And for an anime like this, characters got to be strong. It's almost got to be like Tokyo Magnitude 8, where the characters, you love the characters from the beginning. And I'm gonna be real with you right now. I couldn't even tell you what the main character's name is. But I like some of the stuff they show us. I just need more, if that makes sense. I need character, like, not development, but character, like, openness in a sense. If that makes
it does.
That's what I need. Actually.
Yeah, because if they're not open enough, you can't even get to know who they are. Or you don't even care to know who they are.
Right.
Yeah, so that totally makes sense. All right, man. And then I guess it's the stuff that wrapped up. Quite a few things that wrapped up. Let me give you a rapid fire here, Teliano. Biggest surprise of the summer for you?
Sheesh. Oh, let me see. Let me look at what I finished real quick. Not that. Definitely not that. Not that.
It could be a situation. It could be anything. Episode.
What did I watch that kind of
biggest surprise for you?
Biggest surprise. What was that one that I watched because of you? The one I watched last week because of you. I can't think about the slice of life joint.
Oh, Masamune-kun.
Yeah, Masamune Kun's Revenge Art. Yeah, that was pleasant.
Yeah,
that was very pleasant. Because that ending is stuck in my head.
Yeah,
and I enjoy it. So yeah, I'm gonna say that's my actual biggest. Even though I couldn't remember the name, that was my biggest. That was my biggest surprise for sure.
Right,
because I wasn't expecting that at all.
Exactly, and you wasn't touching it. My biggest surprise is that my sleeper wasn't that good. For the first time ever, like I've picked a sleeper, and it was okay. You know, it wasn't a bad sleeper per se, but it wasn't a great one, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself. You know, I'm kind of disappointed in myself. So that's my biggest surprise.
Sleeper was okay though.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but you know, I'm used to getting some fucking hits. You know what I'm saying? Like I hit them out the park. What would you say was the show that you didn't think you would like but end up liking?
It's got to be and it's definitely not that. It's got to be your sleeper.
Oh, my sleeper?
Yeah.
You didn't think you would like it?
Nah.
Really? No. Interesting. Okay. You didn't think you would like Dreaming Boy as a realist?
Nah.
Wow. Okay.
I did. I thought it would be okay after the first episode, but I thought it was gonna get. I thought it was gonna go a different route, and I feel like the middle part to the end was better than I expected.
Really? I feel the opposite about that one. The show I didn't think that I was gonna like that I ended up liking was Classroom for Heroes.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, it was like it was just like pleasant. It wasn't even supposed to be good. It was something that I was supposed to turn my mind off and be like, okay, this is my trash show that I'm gonna watch this season. You know, because I always have one of those. You always got one show that's trash that you just gonna push through anyway. But I'm like, every time I watched it, I enjoy it. I feel you. Strangely enough. So that was what I did not think I was gonna like that I end up actually liking.
Hear me out. I'm very surprised.
Me too.
I'm very surprised on that one because, like, I hated that one.
Yeah.
But I watched it through, man. Yeah, I mean, it had some funny moments though because it was like, come on, bro, and hear me out and this is something I thought was hilarious. You said something on the timeline. You said was about a forgettable anime for you. Classroom of Heroes, although I know I didn't like it that much, is not going to be one of those necessarily forgettable ones. That's
probably why.
Was weird.
Yes,
yeah.
That's probably why. Because again, it's not. I wouldn't say it's good. I would tell y'all right now not to watch it. Like I wouldn't recommend it to anybody That's why it's a show that I didn't think I would like it. I end up liking. Like, what the fuck? Like, I watched it all the way through. Like, if anything, I should have dropped it. It has a 60% on Anilist, deservingly so. But something about the crew of characters that they have, and the way they just didn't let it. I don't know. They didn't let it not be what it is. Does that make sense? Like it stayed true to itself, if you will, which is very different. Like, I enjoyed the fact that the end was positively, strangely interesting. Like the different Sophies and etc. Like it's something about it was interesting to me. I don't know. It's not a good show, but I end up liking it. I would tell you that now. It's not good, but I liked it. Okay, next random question. What show that you didn't finish that you wish you would have?
Oh. Let's go with I'm only gonna say, because I'm going to finish it, the Gene of AI. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm gonna binge the last few episodes of that most likely tomorrow. Yeah, and it's the same for me. I'm still gonna finish the show, obviously. Just when I have a chance. It's gonna be hard to do this particular season, but it's gonna be Undead Murder Farce. Like I only watched 5 episodes, but it's a show I liked, I enjoyed. I'm not even close to finishing, but I'm definitely going to finish it. But that's one that I wish I would have finished during the season for sure. And then I'm gonna say lastly, your favorite summer show. Ooh, okay, hold up.
It could be anything.
I'm looking at the summer list just to make sure I ain't miss nothing. See, the issue is, though.
Still didn't know this was coming, by the way, y'all. Sorry.
Yeah, I did. Well, the issue with this is that also, like, Zom 100 didn't get to finish.
Yeah, it's hiatus. Fucking. That's a result of them producing while it's airing.
Yeah.
Normally, shows are done producing. They just pretty like half of it at least. They just need to release it. But it seemed like they were producing week to week and fucking it up. But it's a new studio. They could have been floated out.
I'm gonna give it to, because I feel like you might give it to this other one. I'm gonna say Bleach.
Okay. And I'm gonna say not my happy marriage. Fuck no, not my happy marriage. Jobless Reincarnation.
Okay, good. That's what I needed.
Obviously. Actually, you know what? Let's do one more. Biggest disappointment.
Okay.
Mine's, I'm gonna go first. Liar, liar.
Yeah, that was trash.
It wasn't trash, okay? But it was definitely a disappointment.
All right. I did not like Liar Liar at all. You know it.
Yeah,
From the beginning, I did like Liar Liar. Mine is Undead Murder Farce.
Oh fuck! Now I don't even want to finish it. All right, well, maybe I'll just drop that one.
It's okay. You gotta make your own assumption, bro.
Nah, I'm good. No.
I could not like it because I'm just not smart enough, man.
Nah. If it's anybody I trust more than anybody else in this entire world, is you. I will not be finishing Undead Murder Farce. I swear to God, I'm not. Okay, to put that in perspective, why is because that's all I needed to hear from somebody who I trust to know that. Because listen, we got I'm gonna just count it. I'm gonna just count it out loud. 1, 2. This is me personally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 32 shows. That's just in my list alone that I still haven't even gone through everything. Now, mind you, one of these is Attack on Titan, so drop that down to 31. Attack on Titan is it's a 1 hour, 40-minute episode movie, basically. So take that out. Boom. And then I was counting JJK. JJK still has 13 episodes, so that does count. I do believe that does still count. And then I did count Spellblaze, so let's bring it down to 30.
Yeah, because that's one episode left.
Two.
Okay, yeah.
2 episodes left of that. I didn't count Zom. I didn't count shit. I should have counted One Piece for me personally because that's still on my list. So back up to 31. But that's literally all the shows we got to watch. So I'm not gonna go back to Undead Murder Farce. If it's,
I think you'll appreciate that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I do appreciate that alone. I promise you I do, because I'm dropping it right now on my list. Thank you very much. All right. Oh, we still got to watch Link Click too, so I'm gonna add that there too.
Oh my god, yeah. I can't wait to binge that. I'm binging that immediately.
Me too. And then, my One Piece. Before we, I guess we should, before we go into spoilers, let me do my One Piece real quick, and then we're gonna go into recommendation roulette. Okay. This might ruffle some feathers. This will ruffle some feathers to the One Piece fans. Not One Piece fans, enjoy this, okay? This Dressrosa arc has been so bad. I never thought I would see a tournament arc that was so absolutely dog shit. When I tell you my excitement for this tournament arc, I was so excited to see a tournament arc. I'm like, yo, this tournament arc might be fire in One Piece. It's finally like a real tournament arc, a gladiator fight. They about to all fight for this flame fruit. It's about to be so dope. This has been the worst tournament arc I've ever seen of any anime of all time. Like, worse than any Hunter x Hunter, worse than any other tournament of power. You name it. This shit was garbage, bro. It is still going. It's still going. And mind you, I'm gonna put it in perspective. I've watched more episodes than this, but from 6:30 till about 6:54-ish. And its fucking tournament is still going. And I'm watching to the truncated version, mind you, where they cutting out the extra doubles of like Rebecca's backstory going on for 27 million hours, okay, or the backstory of Dressrosa as a whole that's going on for 17,000 hours. Even in its truncated form, it's so bad. It's so long. Go ahead.
Hear me out. As your brother, this is where I actually started reading One Piece at. Because I agree with you entirely. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about how great the tournament arc was, other than like a specific moment. And it's literally just a moment in the tournament in the Dressrosa arc that people care about. Literally nothing else in this tournament matters. It's not a fun watch, bro.
Oh my god, it's so bad, bro. When I tell you it's a bunch of fucking no-name nobodies getting full 10 minutes of
too long. Yeah,
10 minutes too long of them fighting and getting their and then end up dying in one hit. Like, it's just all so fucking stupid and tedious. I'm like, please, no more. I started inching the, even with the truncated version, like they're like hour-long episodes, which is like, again, like literally like 5 to 10 episodes, and it's one truncated 1 hour of, I'm just fast forwarding through these little small fries fighting. Like, I don't care about these people. I'm to the point now though where Trafalgar Law got his ass beat by Doflamingo. Got shot a couple of times. He got Tupac in front of Luffy and Zoro. I will say this too. So far, this is just so far. I'm not too deep into it yet, but Doflamingo is probably one of the most overrated villains I've ever seen in my life. He is not that fucking cool. Like, you included, my brother included, and I love Quintiliano to death, talked up Doflamingo so much, and he's just so fucking whack. Like, he's boring. There's nothing spectacular about him whatsoever. Is he a villain of all villains? No. This fucking guy kind of stinks. He just happens to have the blood of the celestial dragon bullshit blood and the thread fruit, which allows him to thread clouds. Like, that shit is so dumb. He's a dumb villain. He's fucking sucks. And he doesn't suck in the way of good at all. Like, he's not intriguing at all. But you know what is intriguing? Fukiyoshi, I think is his name. The admiral, the samurai, the blind samurai admiral.
Oh yeah, he's a goat. He's
this
amazing.
motherfucker is by far the scariest fucking thing I've seen in One Piece so far. Like, fuck no, Doflamingo is cute or whatever, I guess, in his caprice, but like he's not that cool. He's nothing about him is cool, and his villainy. Like, I don't like. Maybe it's because of this truncated version. Doubt it, but he just doesn't. He doesn't seem that
impressive.
Yes.
That menacing.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe that's just so far, right? Like,
what all has Doflamingo done so far?
He beat like I said, he beat the fuck out of Doflamingo, and it was not Doflamingo. Doflamingo beat the fuck out of Trafalgar. Like, that was pretty messed up. But it was after Trafalgar already exhausted his power trying to escape Doflamingo. So like it's not like Doflamingo beat a full Traffy. Like he beat his ass in the weakened state. So that wasn't that impressive. And all he's been doing is been hiding behind the Admiral, Fukiyoshi. Okay. So it's like
is a demon. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything too interesting yet. So far he's very, very overrated and very fucking corny.
I think that where you are right now also didn't think much of Doflamingo, so I think that's fair.
Okay.
Because I was not impressed by Doflamingo at this point either. It's further into the story, and I think at your rate, because after the tournament, at your rate, I think you'll start to see a little bit more Doflamingo.
Yeah, because to be fair, I got to the point where Luffy and them is like, okay, we're going straight to the palace and we're about to fuck Doflamingo up. That's literally right where I am right before we started recording. So everybody has their plan. So Nami and Chopper and Sanji are going to Zoe Island with Brooke and Usopp, Robin. I love Robin and Frankie. They're about to go destroy the factory. I love Victoria too. I wish Victoria would join the fucking crew. She's amazing, but
everybody can't join the crew, Polo.
I know. I get why she won't. I just learned why she won't, or why she couldn't, even if we wanted to. But her, I just learned about that, and then like I said, Doflamingo and Fukiyoshi just took Trafalgar. Like, they just flew away with Trafalgar, and Luffy's like, yo, I'm about to go straight to the palace and fuck shit up. So I'm hoping that's going to get better.
The best part is Fuki gets scarier.
He is so good, dude. And like,
I can't wait till you get to the end of this arc, because he's the biggest flex ever. It's crazy. He's
already the biggest flex, dropping fucking meteors. Like, what fruit is that? It doesn't, like, I don't even know if it is a fruit.
It's not.
He's just spectacularly strong. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible to watch him work, man. It's like I was like, wait, rooting for him on accident. I'm like, yo, what this shit is? Oh wait, that's not good. Like,
he's not with us.
Yeah,
he's not with us.
But when I tell you that motherfucker, you want to talk about menacing. When I see him and that's menacing.
He ain't even got to see you to put it into you, which is beautiful.
It's some of the most amazing shit I've seen in One Piece to date. Another thing about One Piece. And I'm going to just say this because of the simple fact that Bleach exists and Naruto exists, to be honest. Their fights fucking suck. Like, there is nothing good about any fight that I've seen in 630 and 50 something episodes. Like, there's nothing good about them. The only thing that's good about them is the fact that you want good guys to win. And sometimes they're like, sometimes there's a one move that ends it all usually, and it's just like it's a bunch of just like just people it's just I don't fucking know how to
getting ping ponged around.
Yeah, there's not
rubber band ball he is.
There's no dance to it like it was in Bleach, and we're gonna talk about that in the second half of the show. There's no grace like it is in Naruto when he fought Pain or something. Like, there's nothing to One Piece. It's just a bunch of it's not good. One Piece doesn't have good fights. I'm gonna just say it. The fights aren't great, but I love them. I still like it. I still want to see how it plans out. It's weird to even talk about like that because, to be honest, I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's not that impressive, but I'm invested.
Yeah,
and maybe that's the thing about One Piece, you know?
Yeah, it's like that first time Luffy punched the Celestial Dragon impact.
Nah, that was actually impactful.
But I'm saying
it's more like when he went second gear for the first time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's normally just like you said, that one punch that ends everything. Like it's just a bunch of build up till you get there.
Yeah,
I think the Celestial Dragon was very impactful. I agree with that. 100%. I'm just saying that's what it is that One Piece builds up to that one overall, like this is the one hit knockout kind of move.
Yeah, because like when Luffy was fighting in a tournament, he was fighting against the guy who was who used to have the pointy head before before Luffy's granddad punched it down. It was just hilarious.
Yo, Garp is a demon.
Yeah, Garp is straight up a demon. But like him fighting him was just Luffy running away for. If I'm telling you, if I watched a regular version of this, it would have probably been like 6 episodes of him just running away from that fat motherfucker. And then all of a sudden, that one was a gum elephant gun or some shit like that, where he goes into second gear and he fucking stiffen his arm up and he punches his head down again, or punch his head back to the point again. It's like that is the only, like it only happens once, and then everything else is just him either running away or him getting punched the fuck around. It's nothing good about the fights. And then lastly, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I forget. It's gone. It's fucking gone. Whatever.
More One Piece slander.
It's not really okay. That's the thing, it is slander, but I like it. I don't know what it is about it. I'm enjoying watching it. Again, except for this tournament arc, I fell asleep during my computer at one point. I had to. Ooh. It was so fucking boring, bro. I'm sitting like, oh my gosh. Closed my eyes and woke up like, oh shit. But I'm making so many people mad. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I can't wait to see what's happening there. It seems like it's finally about to pop off now that everybody understands the plan now. Like again, them all being separate I'm sick of it. But that's just One Piece now. Like it just feels like it all starts with them being together at one point, and then now all of a sudden everybody's separated all the fucking time, and it's actually rather aggravating. But it is what it is. Okay, now
it's One Piece.
Now let's take this quick break, and we're gonna spoil Bleach. The last 2 episodes because they gave us 2.
Yeah.
Of Bleach, and then what else did we say?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen, yes. I guess that'll be it for now. And we'll come back next week with more because there's a bunch of shit coming out next week. So we'll be right back after these. And welcome back to episode 222 of Mic Check Waifu. Listen, I just was telling Tel before I press record again that a lot of people probably turned the episode off when I started talking about how bad Castlevania was, or how bad I hate, or how much Doflamingo is just so fucking whack. But that's okay. The people that stuck around get to hear the spoiler talk for Bleach, the previous two episodes, or last two episodes of this particular core, and JJK, which was insane. What we starting off with? You want to start off with Bleach?
Yeah, let's start with Bleach.
Okay, so first off, I want to say it was dope to see the reaction on the timeline after I watched it. Because after I watched it, I went to our Twitter and I was just looking around and I saw people like, yo, what the fuck is this? This doesn't happen in the manga. And that got me excited. So apparently this didn't happen in the manga this way. So people were like freaking out about that. Like, yo, this is, and they put a bunch of flame signs. So apparently, he changed some shit up for this. And which I heard that's what he said he was going to do. He said there was going to be some changes. But I mean, whatever, it was spectacular.
Man, Squad Zero is insane.
Bruh. Oh.
I just keep thinking about the flexes, and hear me out. So episode, what was it, 12, the first of the final two? It felt like one of those games, because I mean, even before this, it felt like this. It felt like you were playing like checkers and chess, where you keep going back, making that move that keep putting the other in check, check, until someone finally gets the upper hand.
And it was so elegant.
Yeah, and I love the trash that Squad Zero talks. Because they are actually built different. and I feel like they consistently show that they built different. And you're watching his goons, they are built different too. But they built different.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild because I was expecting different, bro. I was expecting like more of an overwhelming I guess side of things almost in a sense, you know what I mean?
Because what I think is like they spend. Okay, here's the difference between Squad Zero is spectacular. But the thing with your watches people is that they had to be brought back to life by sacrificing the masses essentially to literally revive them because they lost. They were gone. They were done.
Yeah. And
then they had to sacrifice his fucking entire army basically to revive the important Quincy's as he called it. Which is fucking insane, man. Like they lost.
That's what your watches does. That's what he does. Right?
Which means that Squad Zero was just that crew. They literally are just that crew. And they fucking showed up and showed out. Like I was expecting the Zanpakuto, the creator, to be something insane. And he exceeded my expectations because he's so smooth with it. And again, like so elegant. All of them are super elegant. That it was impressive, man. It was impressive to see.
To build off of that, right? I know that I said that I thought that Yoachi's crew was going to bring a little bit more of an impact here. And I think they did definitely came in. They definitely did not look like pushovers or anything like that.
No, 100%.
But I feel like every turn Squad Zero made them look stupid. And I mean, like, not even like joking. They actually made them look stupid. You first get there. Hey guys, you're stupid. Then they pull out some trump card, but then it's like, hey guys, you're stupid. But like, for instance, we get to that final episode where they get into the fight and, the Stern Ridders they open their wings, so to speak.
Yep.
And
after they get revived. Yep.
After they get revived, and Squad Zero's like, okay, so we put massive limitations on ourselves because any of us just using our power causes tremors across the entirety of the planes or whatever, right?
Yep.
And I was like,
if you will.
I'm like, first of all, y'all are insane if that's really true. Cause I'm thinking like they're not going to demonstrate that, right? They demonstrate it. They got 3 of them have to die for one of them to fully unleash their powers, which is insane. Say you're going to be the one to kill him. And I'm like, I love this lady with the needle.
She's my wife.
I love her. I love her, bro. She's insane. Boom, boom, boom. We get 3 seppukus. And she's unleashing her power. And she just walks through. Giving a poem.
She said
a haiku. And then she just proceeds to and that's not even the most impactful part to me was that when she did it, you know, we see old dude with the pink gown on, we see a whole society of the world everywhere. Everybody is like, what is that? And it's just her bankai.
Yeah, it's just her bankai. Before we speed through that, we can't speed through the fact that her fucking bankai is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Especially when she her voice actress, whoever she is, I love her so much. It's just so effortless. Like I was fucking floating listening to this shit. I rewound it when she first said bankai 3 times just so I can hear her say the name of her bankai 3 times. It was so long and convoluted. Yeah, it was so long and convoluted, but I wanted to hear her say it over and over and over. It was. I gotta listen to these 2 episodes. I gotta listen to them dubbed just to hear her say that fucking bankai name because it was so spectacular to see. And then like when you got into the design of it all, oh bro, man, it's just for like you said, see everybody notice these tremors, and then she just walks. And everybody that's there get the fucking shit beat out of them. Even shit beat out of them. What is it? Imprisoned? I don't even know what the fuck happened to him for real.
It was a domain expansion, if I do say so myself. Because I looked at it and I'm like, that's what this is. That's what this is. This is a domain expansion. She said bankai domain expansion. Everyone gets turned into silk.
Right.
And they basically get sealed away, and then I guess she destroys the silk, and it's the smoothest thing I've ever seen in the world. All meanwhile, you watch and Papa Big Head fighting.
Bro,
I can't remember his name. What's his name? The Go ahead, brother.
Oh, I'm about to say he made a fool out of your watch, which was fucking interesting. Okay, we know that this isn't gonna last. All in all, I still love seeing it. Does this mean that your watch has to start all over and getting back up to the top? I don't know. Does this mean that the special forces or whatever the fucking people call are gone forever? I don't know. Uryu definitely not gone forever. Let's call it what it is.
Right.
Your watch isn't gone. So, but I just want to know like where does this go from here? Right? Like how do you your watch got his ass beat, turned into Black Ant. That motherfucking name is Black Ant now.
And it was the flex of you watch saying, I'm gonna take your power. And he said, you realize that all black is mine, right? All black. Not just my black. I mean all black. Yo black, they black, his black, her black is my black. He took it, he said black is back. He took it. And it was beautiful because it was like he took it, wrote his name in white, Black Ant. And then proceeded to treat him like the ant you hate that just tried to walk into your house. It was disrespectful. I did not think your watch was gonna get done like that. I actually thought your watch was gonna win because I felt like, that's how the plot is driven. Your watch has no plot armor in this room.
I thought they were all about to lose. Like all the squads there was gonna get their ass whooped, and then they had to Ichigo had to come and save the day, which still might happen. Obviously, it's still entirely possible because we don't know exactly what happened at the end here, but I don't know, man. It was impressive to see. Even if the case is they get up somehow, plot armor saves your watch, he's back up to the top. He's like, oh, I just had to see what you were made of, blah, 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 blah. He sacrificed more of his people, whatever the fucking situation is. I don't care if that happens because of the simple fact is I got to see what I got to see these last 2 episodes. And that Squad Zero showcased their fucking power. I'd never felt somebody that's a lot, because every time Ichigo fights somebody from the Soul Society, you feel like there's no way he's winning this. I got to see these people he said, we haven't used none of our powers. Like, what are you talking about? Like when he was like, what's his name said it, we're stronger than all 13 squad captains put together. And the dude was like, oh, this is the power y'all have? He's like, but we haven't even used our shit. like, like, and then that's when he said,
proceeded to explain, I can't use it because if I do, I'm gonna mess everything up.
Yeah, heaven, earth, your world, my world is all gonna be shaken. It's all gonna be fucking disturbed. So we had to separate ourselves in order for us to keep the balance of everything. It's I don't even like, you think about it like, okay, your watch gets to the Soul King. What the fuck is the Soul King gonna do to these people if Squad Zero is doing these to these people? Is the Soul King just immobile? You know,
maybe the Soul King doesn't fight because that the what's his name, Ichibe Hayusubi, whatever big bald head dude is. He said that he's the vassal for the Soul King. So I imagine that if he makes it to the Soul King, then essentially that's it.
That's game over.
Yeah, it's not about what the Soul King himself does, it's about what his vassal does. So like that's partially why I assume bro is so strong.
Right.
So I mean really we don't know. That's what I'm saying. We don't know.
But all right, let's gut check. The end of Bleach. Bleach is done. For one, I gotta say this. The different versions of Precipice of Defeat that played throughout this entire core or 1,000-Year Blood War arc in general was spectacular. The music, I think,
never miss.
Not once. Oh my God, I just keep thinking about the different versions that we heard. It's like a guitar version, it was an acoustic version, it was a piano version, it was so many different versions that was just amazingly, yes, just woven into this show. The animation, unbelievable how you can still see what goes on in these fights, even though you have people moving as fast as they move, or like it's like I said, it's a dance of just dramatic effect. Like when the fucking the Zanpakuto creator, whenever he fought, it felt like that's how he should have fought. You know, it just felt right.
Yeah, because he was in one moment he was just moving slowly, like what seemed almost wispily and gently, like you said before. It's like it was flowing and gracious, and then boom, he disappeared, and then he's back flowing graciously, moving around. It's so much like it's just perfection almost, and then boom, he disappears again. So yeah, they did a really good job of making that like motion seem smooth, fast, and like impactful.
Yes, you still knew what was going on, unlike Dragon Ball Z, and even sometimes unlike in Naruto, where you can barely see the action itself. You could see it even if it indicated that it isn't there. Like it's still good in that aspect. And then, like, as far as just the story goes, it's still very, very, very entertaining. I feel sorry for the people who isn't involved in this, you know? Like, the people who don't want to watch Bleach because of, contrarian means or whatever the case may be, because this is truly special. Like, I said it on Twitter, it's extraordinary. It feels extraordinary. And I'm not even a shonen guy.
Some people lose out. Some people lose out because they got the fear of fitting in too much.
Yeah, the fear of fitting in. Ooh, is that about to be the name of this episode? Fear of fitting in?
Uh-oh.
Because I did pop off on Castlevania. And it does seem like it was the fear of fitting in. But that's just not. I might do that just because. All right. But gut checks. What you think? What you think is fucking even gonna happen in this next core? I don't even know how many cores we getting.
I feel like Uyu wash everybody. I don't know what happens after that though.
Who do you washes everybody?
What's his name? The dude with the glasses. That his name Uyu? Yeah, I feel like I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Him?
I don't know how, bro. I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there so we can go back to episode 222 and be like, Tail said Uyu is gonna wash everybody up there, and that's what happens. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know how. I don't even necessarily believe myself. I just feel like it's got to be something random.
So what you're saying is your watch is done. Your watch's vice captain is done. It's not necessarily that your watch is done. I feel like they need something that is unknown, unbeknownst to everybody, right? Your watch and his normal people, we know what they have already.
us as viewers, we know what Uryu has, but we don't know where Uryu has come from. Essentially, like we don't know what his next level or what he's gone to at this point is what I mean. So I feel like to us, that's something fresh, and we haven't really seen a full expansion on that, and that's why I think it's got to be Uryu, and that's the only reason I think he's there, because he's like that trump card. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? Yeah. They gotta give purpose to him even being there in the first place. Otherwise, they would have just left him if he had no purpose there.
Yeah, because you think about it, like he was getting his, like the little bit of fighting he did was the least impressive thing about the entire situation anyway.
Right. But he has to have a purpose. He has to have some reason for being there.
You're absolutely right. Like maybe you watch being turned into Black Ant is what gives Uryu his powers, and that's when he starts to body people. Maybe you're onto something. It'll be whack as far as the story.
I ain't lying.
It'll be whack as fuck. But I'm thinking that your watch isn't done. He's badly beaten, battered, and bruised, but he's not done. And maybe he does a one last ditch effort. Because there is still some left. The other ones, Quincy's left.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna try to do his little one last ditch effort where he sacrifices more of his folk, the last bit of his folk, and what they have, and he does something that's outrageous. And when he does that outrageous thing, that kills the vassal, right? And obviously, maybe Uryu does take care of my waifu. Uryu take care of my waifu. Your watch take care of the vassal. But as soon as the vassal dies, that's when Ichigo actually reaches the top. And then that's when it's that 1v1.
Oh, you just made me think about
what?
So what if what you said is right, but basically when he get rid of the vassal, the Soul King becomes the issue now. And I hate to say that, but like your watch and what's his face, they basically a dead tie. But they get there, now the Soul King is unstable because you watch that was his goal, destabilize everything.
Oh shit.
And now the Soul King's power is, I don't know what it could be. I'm just saying, I don't know.
You spitting, yeah. It could release some hell on all of the realms, That'll also give Uryu a reason for being there, because now Ichigo needs his help. Disgusting. Ugh, that's so nasty.
Power of friendship.
Oh my god, that's so nasty. But you might be right. If that does that, I will be so sad, because you're probably right. God, and it's
we didn't read it, so don't spoil it.
Soul Reaper and fucking Quincy fighting together to stabilize the Soul King, but he's the strongest that ever have been that there ever was, and they have to fight together with fucking Chad and Orihime, and it's just awful. All of that just sounds awful, but you're probably right. God, that'll be so disappointing. That'll probably put a damper on everything that's lived up to this point. You're
right. You're so right, bro. You're so right, because it would take away how dramatic everything was. How it made this feel like this was actually going to be a war. You know what I mean?
Right. Ugh, man. All right, man. You just roared my fucking whole night. All right.
How? Because I'm just telling you my perspectives of what I hope don't happen.
Moving on to JJK. To Jujutsu Kaisen. You know what's funny?
What's funny, bro?
Jujutsu Kaisen has to have the worst English name ever of all time. Did you see that? What the English title for Jujutsu Kaisen is?
What is the English title for it?
It's like sorcery school.
Oh, really?
Literally what it is in English.
Oh, that's stupid.
It's a really bad name. But honestly, this goes to what we said earlier. Reading it and watching it. Watching this though was really cool though.
Yeah.
Seeing the moment that Gojo says, you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. And he fucking expands his domain with only having what? He said they could last a minute and 20 seconds or something like that.
He didn't even flash it that long. He did his domain. I think they said for like a tenth of a second.
Is that really what he said?
Yeah, because he said he flashed the domain for a tenth of a second, but basically the amount of, so because he only did it like that because the amount of information that would go into their brains in that time would keep them stunned or whatever for a few hours. But if he had did any longer, he would have fried their brains.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
And in that time span is when he went ham for, I think it was like, they said 229 seconds long he was fighting for. And taking on what's happening.
It's about to be completely random, and I'm sorry for everybody that's listening to this podcast, like whatever. I remember what I was about to say at the end of, before we went to break, about One Piece.
All right, let's do it.
Hockey as a power system sucks.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, because it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's definitely all over the place. And I said that because thinking about this power system made me remember that fucking hockey stinks. But his power, like Jujutsu Kaisen power system is incredible because of him being this one sole person that could do this, being a part of that clan, and now realizing that the one thing that kept balance in this whole entire world is gone.
Put him in a box.
Put him in a box.
Now, what was also super cool is obviously seeing that even in a sealed state, Gojo is a lot to comprehend. He's a whole lot to comprehend. And the box has just stopped moving because it has to take time to comprehend everything that is Gojo because he is ridiculous.
Yep.
But the impact that it's going to have, right? Now, obviously we read this, but we talk about how they had to let the other sorcerers know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now that obviously relays extra information around to other people, but it's important that you know the status of what's happening. Because if your trump card, your artillery weapon is put in a box and you can't do nothing with it, you got to figure out how to carry out the plan going forward, right? Which means that now they got to think about, all right, how do we do this without Gojo?
So what I absolutely love about that piece that you just mentioned is the fact that not only does our good guys have to figure out what they're going to do without Gojo, the bad guys are like, listen, they don't have Gojo. So that means even with them not having Gojo, our chances of winning is now astronomically higher. Even if we don't have Sukuna, because the reason why we was going to feed the fingers to Yuji and try to bring out Sukuna was because we didn't have a way to seal Gojo, or if the Gojo sealing failed, we would have to bring out Sukuna and they had to shoot the fair ones. That I think the diabolical thought process of villainy when it comes to these villains is so much more fun than anything else that we have nowadays, because you don't get that. You don't get villains plotting and scheming as strong as they did because they understand the diversity, the structure of the world and the situation that they're in, because they're like, okay, we got Gojo, we can't do shit. None of us can do shit in this world when Gojo is around. So we got two options. We seal Gojo. If we seal Gojo, there's a possibility that we can win. If we can't seal Gojo, our only other possibility is to free Sukuna, which is the fucking demon of all demons.
Right. And I love that, right? I love that perspective as well, because you see that even amongst the demons or the curses or whatever, they're like, okay, well, we have two options. But if you remember early on, they said that freeing Sukuna could backfire because Sukuna he don't care about nobody or nothing but him. So exactly. So y'all free Sukuna, y'all can have another problem on y'all hand. But if y'all free Sukuna, y'all have something to handle Gojo. Now that Gojo is no longer a problem, and you realize your chances are higher, it might be better. But you see, like this curses have some curses have more conservative views, some have more liberal willing to views. Yeah, and it's kind of dope though, because it's really like, dope. No, I want to free our guy. They're like, no, we don't need to, because we can do this without that. So that's dope too, to see our actual villains kind of adapt their plan accordingly.
Right. I everything about it's cool, man. It's just, again, I wish I didn't see what's coming next, because I can't. The best part about this show that we do is the speculating part, the gut checks, I think. And when it comes to spoiler talk, because like I can literally give you a gut check, but if I give you a gut check, it's going to subconsciously be what actually happens. And if I didn't read it, I probably would have. What's crazy is that I probably would have guessed what happened if I didn't read it anyway, because of the way of JJK, because of the rules they set. Like, if without Gojo, you kind of fucked, you know, like, and that's all I'm gonna say there. But
yeah, it's true.
You know, they did mention, though, what's his face?
Ghetto?
Yes. No, not Ghetto. Sorry. Give me a second. Our guy from the movie, aka JJK Zero. Yuta. There it is, Yuta.
Oh yeah.
There's like, don't forget, we still got Yuta because he's fucking insane. But they're like, yeah, but Gojo level Yuta. I mean, Yuta's very strong, but he's no Gojo.
Yeah,
they don't know about Yuta.
And that's crazy too, because it's like, you think about how much emphasis they put on Gojo, that there has to be countermeasures for somebody like Gojo, but it's like, if Gojo holds somebody in high regard, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
What does that mean? Meaning as he's a problem. Because if you remember, for those of you who obviously y'all have had to have seen either the movie or read JJK Zero, he's the reason why Ghetto died, essentially. You know, and that's why Ghetto is being taken over by this fucking random brain or whatever. But he's the one that ended it, or he's the one that helped end it. So like, there's still chance. Which, again, in the manga, the stuff we see is very good. I'm gonna just say that, very good. What chapter did you stop at, JJK?
Bro, I gotta pick it back up on my manga.
Let me see if this is accurate, because I have it in my Anilist, but I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. My watch wants to update.
Should have been did that, bro. Auto updates.
Oh, it does. It just was telling me that it's about to.
Got you.
Yeah, 181 is where I stopped, which is accurate in my Anilist. Let's go.
I don't say what part is that, because I probably stopped somewhere around.
Let's see here. If I look at the chapter. Okay, yeah, this is actually Yuta. Yuta just is fighting pretty much everybody. Fuck. I don't want to say what it is while we're recording, but it's basically the game, essentially, and Yuta's doing his thing. Damn, I kind of want to read, bro. I'm not good. I don't think I could do it, because that's just gonna ruin the show for me, right? Like, but I'm already so far, you know. It's like, whatever. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, don't spoil yourself.
Not for JJK. I can't. But reading Rent a Girlfriend was the right call, for sure. Oh, and for the spoilers for the site that shall not be named is mangareader.2. That's the website I used.
.2?
Yep. Mangareader.2. It's very clean. No ads if you have an ad blocker. Even if you don't have one, I don't see any.
You said even if you got an ad blocker.
It's very clean. All right. Tell.
What's happening?
I love JJK and everything, but I'm at Polow Born Fly on all social media.
I'm at King Telliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on X and at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And as always, Mike Check.
tuned into Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?